Hi, and welcome to the Thinking Out Loud podcast, a show with meaningful conversations in English with non-native speakers. My name is Jedrek.
My name is Masha.
And we are English teachers, two of them. Who?
Two English teachers who are fighting a fight with AI.
Oh, yeah, we do. It's been a story of 2023
And you think that we're
for
losing,
sure.
yeah?
And I think we are losing because, dear listeners, and Masha, the same. I'm sort of, I want to say, it's not like I'm serious, super serious about it, but I'm sort of preparing for my presentation in Paris that's going to take place next month. And I think I sent my application in May, when I was all about, I was after my Barcelona speech and so on. And I thought, okay, maybe AI, that's the thing, I didn't know back then that I would get so tired with AI. But unfortunately or fortunately, my speech is going to be about AI in language learning. And I must tell you that the stuff that I have seen lately is mind-blowing, to say the least. And I will say that openly right now, but of course I am emotional, so maybe these emotions will come down in the future. I don't know, but there is no way language learning will remain the same ever after. So I think that there are huge changes, and I don't even think that this show, this very podcast that we announce as conversations with non-natives, I don't even think that this non-native will play any role in the future, because and it will basically lose meaning, because language barriers will get destroyed by technology. This is what I'm telling you. And I'm not just talking about the barrier between your native language and English, the lingua franca, but the barriers between Ukrainian and Japanese and Polish. And
Did you check out the glasses, the link that I sent you?
I checked
I
them
don't
out.
understand
Yes.
how it happens. You basically see the text running, yes, and on the other side, or how?
Yeah, I don't know about the technicalities. It's a different thing, but the fact that big players are behind this, plus I've also watched a TED video about the future of smartphones, or rather the end of smartphones and the next gen technology that will be basically interacting with us by means of a
some
voice
Japanese
interface.
company and another, I don't remember, the very big player, and some other Japanese company, they are already, I think, in agreement.
I mean, Facebook is all into that, with their contract with Ray-Ban, I think, or other, producer of
So you
eyewear.
texted me yesterday, you're cooked, and I was thinking maybe this would be the line today. We are two English teachers who are cooked, but then I
Who
thought
are
we're
cooked.
still fighting. We're
Yeah,
still
we're
fighting.
still
Let's
fighting.
fight.
But it's very interesting, because we talk about languages, but think about a bigger picture, that is education as such, and school as such, because these tools eliminate the need for knowledge almost entirely. Like, I know that we could argue here, but fast forward to the conclusion. I think school has been, but we forgot about it, but will be definitely in the future, all about the level of a person, because this is the only thing that is left after knowledge is sort of outsourced. It's really interesting, but it's not only linguistic knowledge, like,
That's
the
the
knowledge how
best
to
case
build.
scenario, but think about the worst case
Yeah,
scenario. It may
of
go
course, of
a
course.
totally different way.
Yeah,
And
it's
usually
true.
it
I mean,
does. Usually it does.
it usually does. Yeah, you're right. I'm thinking, with some high ideals, but this will be definitely a niche. This focus on level, on wide horizons. I don't think our horizons will actually widen. It will get narrow. But I don't know, honestly. Look at, it's funny. It's my theory of the world it has been for some time, and it's a very simple theory. There is going to be more of everything, and that is, simple, but this is what it's actually happening. We are going to witness more centralization and more decentralization at the same time. It's kind of,
You speak
and
like your average philosopher. It's going to be
right,
everything and nothing, So
yeah. And that's how, you can't never verify, on my words. No, I'm kidding, but it's like, there's a 40% risk of blah blah. It's like 40%, it's not too high, but it's
40?
also nothing to neglect. So, it's like, no, I mean, just, that in economics, 40% is a magical number, because it is a 40% risk that there'll be a recession. 40%. So, if there is a recession, I say, I told you, 40%. But if there's no recession, wow, it was below
40.
50. I was, it was
Even
40.
50,
It was 40. I thought,
it's just even 50. It's
yeah. So, but no, I mean, I don't want to sound vague or, to avoid certain, I know, commitments. But I think
you're not a professional. What are they called?
analyst or
No, these people with crystal balls and not seers, but there is a longer word, a very beautiful word for these people. No, you don't know?
fortune tellers. No.
No, this one is a simple one. Very beautiful.
All
I
right.
think it has some Frenchness.
Clairvoyant.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
clairvoyance. Yeah. It's
You're not a
French.
professional clairvoyant, so no commitment, no responsibility. You can say
Yeah,
whatever you like.
exactly. No, but it is fascinating, and so like I told you, there will be more of everything. So on the one side, we are going to see, imagine language barriers eliminated now, but all of them, like, between all languages everywhere. And imagine what would that do to business contacts, to, the exchange in the most general terms. It's like, it's amazing, because suddenly, let's say the content, the Japanese content that is inaccessible to me right now, and to many people, unless you really want to, you look for some tools, you translate every page and so on. But suddenly it becomes available, and the social media and all the content from there, becomes available, and from everywhere, right? That's just
Even
from Japan.
podcasts, there is a technology already that
Even
is
podcasts,
translates
exactly.
podcasts.
So I mean, all
any
the
language.
content that is being,
It's
imagine
available
what
to
would that
anybody.
do, what would that do to the world creativity, the world's creativity? And then all of that is harnessed by AI, and then, made to use to improve the algorithms and so on. It's amazing.
But this is what many people said when the internet arrived, let's say. That's what many people said. Can you imagine what it will do now? In 20 years time, we will be so smart because of all this knowledge available to basically anyone who can afford any sort of device that you can use to connect.
You're right. We've had this
actually
conversation before as humanity, right? Yes.
Okay,
But now I think, who's our guest exactly, Masha? Because, we could be blabbing, and
we have a guest today, and this is a friend of mine and my ex-colleague. We worked at the same school, but now I think, remember we had Tamara on the show, who is also an English teacher, but she has a second
say
job.
Hi to Tamara once again.
Yeah, hi, right. Tamara. And this our today's guest. She's a teacher. She continues teaching, but she has a second job, and they are not very far, away from each other. I think she's a coach. She
all right, great.
She undergone training, and she's a coach. So it's interesting how people today, because this is, I think, a trend. You use your skills, which are transferable, and do something else. I think it prevents maybe burnout or something like that. But
so, Masha,
it's just interesting.
I see you and me launching ourselves in the world of coaching very soon.
No, I'll become a farmer.
Not really.
Or
you wouldn't
a writer.
be a good coach?
coach.
You're more like a
No,
writer.
I'm such a coward. I'm afraid of any kind of responsibility for other people. I can't imagine. That's why I didn't become a doctor. My mom is a doctor, and I thought, I mean, I'm fascinated by this profession, but oh my God, you know, it's such. How can you? I mean, I don't know, carry this responsibility when you tell somebody you do this, this, and this, and this, and something goes
Wait,
wrong.
did you say your mom is a doctor?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's similar to mine. We have similar backgrounds then. I mean, my mom is a doctor too, but I wonder why I didn't follow her footsteps, you know.
Okay, let's wonder about this in the next. I think it's a nice
all right.
topic. So our guest today, yes, meet this wonderful person, Olha. Hello, Olha.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. What about you?
Oh yeah, not bad. I'm so cold. I mean, I have double turtleneck.
Oh wow! What's the
Okay.
temperature? Sorry, I don't want
It's
to.
not so bad. I mean, it's something like 18, 19, but I'm freezing. I don't know. The change, you know, after summer.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's only, you know, this morning that I've been thinking about chilly temperatures like 12, you know, 13.
Oh,
How I miss that, you know, because
what?
it's been around 30 since the beginning of, I mean, since the beginning of what? Of June, I guess,
June.
in the south of France where I am. But it's quite bizarre, you know, to have 27 today, but yesterday was like 30, and temperatures like that in late September, early October. Come on, you know, I'm sweating each day. I'm sweating because of heat, you know. So it's like, you know, it's really, what's too much is too much, you know.
Yeah. Well, actually, plus 30 in at the beginning of October. That would be too much.
It's weird, you know. It's weird. Yeah, it's weird, and it's not because, you know, of course, you know, climate change and all that. But I don't want to get into this discussion. But at the personal level, you know, you're just tired, you know, just fed up with that.
That's
sort
how
of
I felt a week ago, but now believe me.
All right. Once it's gone, you start missing it. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Fine. So, just for the record, I want to say Olga. Sorry, you know, I'll keep you Olga. I'll keep calling you Olga. You know, sorry for that. And not even okay. But you're in Kiev now. Tell us just a bit about yourself.
Life in Kiev.
Yeah, life in Kiev, maybe
yourself,
too. You know, it's fascinating, very.
So well, I'm an English teacher. Probably that's what I would like to start with. And also, like quite recently, I've become an internationally certified life coach.
All right.
And this is something that I've been dreaming about for a long time. This is something that I wanted to do. And I'm proud of this achievement, and I'm happy to help people.
Sorry, what does it take? What does it take? What does it take to become an internationally certified life coach?
You need to do a special course. You need to study. It took me probably like a year in total. You need to have the specific amount of practice hours. You need to go through mentorings, individual mentorings and group mentorings with more experienced coaches. You need to take an exam, which was the most difficult exam I'd ever taken.
Wow.
Yes. And I think I've ever taken too. So far, it's been the most difficult exam ever. It took like 4 hours with 5-minute break, like in the middle.
Is it like a test, or is it like an essay, or is it something practical?
Okay. It is kind of a test, but it's more like, you know, case studies. You have situations which are very realistic, which are very, you know, like what you might come across as a coach in your practice working with the clients. And they have
I'd like to ask you for an illustration, like what situation, like
okay.
If you
Like,
maybe remember a question from the exam or from previous exams, I don't know, because I'm just curious. Sorry.
I'll try. Yes, I'll try to remember some of the cases. Okay.
Sorry if nothing comes to your mind right now, because I believe that, you know, it's not like they are memorable cases because you focus probably on.
Yeah, you know, like the thing is that the cases were huge. It's like they give you a lot of information, and it's like the whole passage.
Okay,
and
I
they
get
have
it.
like some kind of pre-story. They give you a lot of context, and they kind of try, like, what they're trying to do is like they're trying to confuse you with all this information for you to,
All right.
you know, like to probably to get distracted from the focal point, you know, like from the main, like from your main responsibility as a coach.
But that's what your client would do, you know. They would start blabbing about everything, and you have to basically get the essence of their problem.
Yeah, but they do it like unintentionally, right?
Well, yeah. But in an exam, they replicate.
They do it on purpose, right? And they know how to you know, like, divert your attention. So basically the situation is like, oh my goodness. Well, basically all the situations are very, how to say, they are related directly to the competencies that the coach should demonstrate in their work. So they are very, very specific. It's not just some, you know, like general situation, like what should you do. But basically, yeah, we do have 4 options for each of the cases, and in these 4 options you need to choose the best and the worst case, you know, like the worst action plan for you as a coach. And with the best, it's kind of easier because this is what you learned. This is what you know, like, you understand, like, through the rules, through the code of ethics of the coach, you know, you kind of, you know what to choose. But with the worst action, this is where the struggle began, because, you know, like, you have 4 bad options and you just need to choose the worst. Somehow, like, this was difficult. Yeah, but generally that's it, I guess. This is
So
a
case of, let's say, an English teacher who lost the fight with AI and now is looking at the options they have, like become a farmer, become a life coach, become a writer. Does it make a good case for no, to help the person with no?
You know, like, I think it depends on your preferences, inclinations, I don't know, interests, whatever.
But you know, Olga, I've never sought for you know, help of a coach, but how do I know if my problem is for the coach or for a shrink or a psychologist? You know,
this is a very
for
good
a
question.
bar.
For a bar
meeting with a friend, yeah.
Or like we say in Ukraine, for the kitchen meeting, you know, like with your friends.
Yeah.
Like, I think you don't actually, you know, like, I think this is for the coach to decide, like, if they are going to work with this issue with your request or not, or this is something out of their, you know, like, out of their professional range or whatever. So basically the difference between psychological consultation or psychotherapy and coaching would be that coaches, they focus on the solution, and coaching generally focuses on the future. You know, like, you have a problem, you have something that you're not satisfied with currently in your life as a client, you come to the coach, and coach doesn't you know, like, dive into what caused this situation in your life, or what might you have done differently to you know, like, avoid it or whatever. So we focus on where to go from this point. We are at point A, how to get to point B. What point B would look like for you? How would you feel differently? How would you think of yourself differently? How would you perceive yourself differently? And what it takes to get there, to be there, to live a better life.
But I've always been wondering, does the coach, because you get this, you're not emotionally involved in it, and you probably get this, let's call it a helicopter view of this person and their problem. And does the coach know the solution and is trying to lead you to it? Like a teacher, for example, of a math, a good teacher, they will not give you the solution, but they know where you should, what you should arrive at, and they are leading you to it. Or they have no clue themselves,
This is what I love about coaching in general. We have no clue.
That's so convenient,
absolutely.
It's so convenient.
But this is the best option if you think about it.
Yeah, I
like,
understand.
how can you know what is the best solution for your client? We are all so different. We are all unique. And what I might see as the best option for me right now would or might not be the best option for the client. And even, like the question, like, what would you like to do with your problem? The answers would differ. The answers would just, would be mind-blowingly different. And you're like, okay, I would have never thought of this option. But for my client, yeah, it works. So we stick to what the client chooses. The client basically works through their problem. And the coach just, I love this metaphor of the coach just like holds the light, like some kind of lantern, and sheds the light onto the situation. So,
but you definitely, I'm sure that sometimes you see, like with my child, for example, sometimes he offers me a solution to the problem, and I just, from my experience, whatever, how many years I lived, I just know that it's not going to work. But I don't tell him. I let him, follow this path. I hold the light, even though I know that at the end of this path, it's just, an abyss or whatever. I don't let him jump, of course, but do you do that? Sometimes that, no, it's not going to work. I just know that, but let's explore,
I might have some hypotheses, probably. So I might share my thoughts with the client if they allow me to do that. And in general, if the client believes that this will work for them, I just go with it. I do not doubt my client and their view. If it doesn't work, we will get back to that, and I will, like give some kind of a summary, like, look, we've been here, you've decided to go there. How well did it work for you? And if they say that, well, yeah, I overestimated myself, or I don't know, underestimated the problem, or I just misjudged the whole situation, I would say, so what do we do now? Where do we go from this point? Now that you know what you know about your situation. So yeah.
All right. I'm personally also interested, and this is, Masha, in the light of our previous conversation.
I remember 40% chance. We just had an intro, and
but do you think that your second profession, that is life coaching right now, is it prone to being replaced? Are you prone as a coach of being replaced by AI in the future? What do you think?
Not a chance. Not
a chance.
Zero possibility. Yes, because coaches, they do not just analyze the words. Like this is what probably AI is working on. Yes, some kind of like language model. If the person said this, then it might mean that. We are also working with the energy levels, with the emotions, with something that the client might not be saying out loud. Like
so reading between the lines.
Exactly. And I don't think that AI can do that.
But AI can identify emotions. I mean, right now, I don't know which level this technology is at, but I'm sure it's a matter of time. They will micro gestures, micro changes on your face. They can read the emotion, which a lot of humans cannot.
I don't know.
Sorry to rain on your parade.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Probably, I'm not so much aware of AI, like I don't know a lot about it, and I haven't done my research as to whether the coaches will be replaced one day by some robots. But so far, I don't see this happening.
Oh
like,
yes,
for now.
so far.
So I don't know how many years
I
do
think
we
we
need
still
to
have
teach
time.
them those like micro emotions and micro, I don't know, facial
It's gonna
expression.
be a matter of months, I guess.
You think
No,
so? You are so
I mean,
optimistic.
yeah, we are. I guess we are kind of panicky. Masha, is that the case?
Well, yeah, at the end of last year, I thought we had years, but now it's almost the end of this year. I think it's
a matter of months. It's a matter of months.
We're talking about teachers, not
the tech is absolutely amazing. What it can do now, and it may be. We've already talked a lot about it on our show, but maybe once again we need a separate episode. And I think, Masha, maybe this is coming once I'm back from Paris. After the presentation, maybe I'm going to share some findings.
Okay,
right.
Last question about, not related to, not the thinking out loud proper. This second job you have right now, second job, does it offer you more like some insight into, let's say, when you take off your coach hat and put on the teacher's hat, into, I don't know, motivation of students and learning a language or something like this? Does it help you in any way in teaching?
That's a very good question. I think it helps not only in teaching, but in your everyday life too. Just because I have stopped giving advice to people like on any level.
Unwanted,
as a human being, as a friend, as a teacher, I do not recommend anything, because it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Like, really, if my student asks me about anything, asks me about some help, I would I would ask, I don't know, maybe 5-10 more questions to clarify what exactly he wants from me, what kind of help, what kind of support, what exactly is the issue with this thing that he is asking me about, that they are asking me about, right? So I wouldn't just say, yeah, just do this and that and you'll be fine. Like, no, the person will nod and say, yeah, thank you so much, that was helpful, and never do that, or even might get demotivated by this help. So this is a very very fine, very fragile substance there, like this motivation and communication between human beings. So I think I've become more careful with that, and I just don't force my opinions and recommendations on anyone. I think that's the main change that I have seen in myself.
That is also, as something worth exploring. I don't know if we have time for that, but basically, are you working on enhancing motivation, or are you basically just careful not to destroy it?
The second option. The second, because I don't think that anybody can influence the motivation, actually.
This is such I don't know, thing in ALT, is that one of the roles of the teacher.
Yelling and beating doesn't enhance motivation?
I think it's the best answer ever. Nothing enhances it the way beating.
Yeah, but
I was
you're
going
right,
to say that in ELT, it's one of the role of the teacher. They promote this, that you are many things, facilitator, whoever, but you also need to motivate your students.
Yeah,
and this is such bullshit. I'm sorry.
This is what I believe motivate anybody. For many years. Yes, and absolutely true. Yeah, this was the insight basically for me.
But not to kill it. Yes, this is a great I mean, the
not
bar
too cute.
is.
And I would say now, and Masha, also after our meeting with Jacek a few episodes ago, I would say that perhaps inspiration is our role. You know, I know it's also kind of vague and so on, but motivation and inspiration, they are maybe sisters, but they're different. You know.
Yeah.
Maybe cousins.
Maybe cousins. Yeah.
Second.
So, but I think that working on that, I know it's kind of, you know, it's inspiration in itself is quite mysterious, and you know, and to consciously inspire others is almost, you know, impossible. But this is maybe the role of a teacher, not so much a motivator, right? However, at the surface level, it sounds nice, you know, to motivate others to keep that flame, you know, alive.
Yeah.
Sounds nice.
But you know
it
what's
doesn't work.
interesting? Sorry for interrupting. Like after I've become a coach, I had two like students, you know, like two people who wanted to study with me. And I had this like 30-minute talk with them before we start anything, just to, you know, just to get to know each other, their needs, their interests, motivation as well. And these two people, they were both like, I don't know, like knowing English is just cool. Everybody knows English these days, so probably I should also study. And when I you know, like I double checked this and I asked them, so like, do you think this will, you know, like keep you going? Right. Yes, this is what how your engine started. So yeah, they were like, yeah, sure. And we started. Like I had this hypothesis that this won't last long. It like we will not be working for like, I don't know, months, years to achieve their goal, because this goal is just like, it's not a goal. Like it's just everybody knows. So I probably also I should also like do something.
What's a healthy sound motivation in your opinion to start learning?
Again, for different person it could be different, but you know, if they told me something that I could feel that this comes from the inside, not from the outside, but from the inside. Probably, you know, like all my friends speak English, so I also want to do that. I also want that for myself, because I would enjoy this and that, and this would, you know, like, and I would see the fire in their eyes, you know, like the flames of passion about English, and like their interest and their excitement about getting to do that. Yeah, I would generally consider this to be a nice motivation. But since they are like, kinda, why not? I think I should, and this like bored look on their faces. So yeah, and we had like, I had with both of those students maybe like 2-3 lessons, and that's it. They just, you know, like disappeared. Yes. Like they didn't even write to me like, sorry, Ola, I'm not gonna study with you. I like, my plans have changed, or like I understood something.
I lost motivation, which I never had to begin with.
Yeah, absolutely. No, they just disappeared.
So it's more like a whim, right? More like, you know, yeah, I'd like to, you know.
It's more like when your brain understands that's a smart thing to do. That's like a reasonably good thing to do for yourself, but you don't see why. Why do you actually need that? I think that's the problem. And that's the problem with, you know, like with a lot of coaching requests. For example, people say, I really want to change the job, or I really want to start the business, or something. And then when we start, you know, like discussing what exactly you are going to get through your business, through like the change of careers, they're like, they don't have the answer. So this was something that, I don't know, was probably like externally
imposed on them by social media, whatever.
Yeah, it happens so often these days, you know. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, great. Masha, honestly speaking, I can't wait to move to the thinking out loud proper, you know.
Go on.
Well,
Ask the question.
All right, great, fine. So thanks for letting me. Olga, one question that has been on our minds for some time is an immortal question, I must say, from our database. What is the difference between a shy person and a coward?
Oh, a shy person and a coward.
How do you see the lines here?
I guess I need some time to think. See you in a couple of hours.
Sure. Yeah. But that is thinking out loud, you know, that's the goal of it, you know. We've got two concepts. Let's try and separate them.
You know, like your questions are usually so vast, like, you know, like you don't even know like what to start with, like what, like where to enter the discussion. I the first thing that came to my mind is this, you know, oh my goodness, I forgot what it's called. It's like this association that you have with the word, like the feeling of the word. Like when you hear that somebody is shy, I have this emotional reaction of, oh, this is cute, or this is so like nice, and this is so okay, this is just, you know, that's who they are. That like they are like shy, you know. Whereas when you hear the word coward, it's more like a judgment. It sounds like a judgment, not like a characteristic. And it has this like negative
connotation to it.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's the word. Okay. Yes, connotation. As if it's not okay to be a coward, as if it's a bad thing, as if the person did something or didn't do something, and we gave them this, you know, like label. We labeled them as a coward.
And there is an expectation, usually how people, you know, are expected to behave in this and this situation in any, you know, society. And if you don't meet these expectations, you're a coward. Yeah, like that.
Probably. Well, maybe not even on a society level, like personally, you know, like I would call a student, well, I might call a student who didn't even let me know that they are not going to continue studying with me, you know, like, oh, that was a coward thing to do. Like you behaved like a coward just because you just, I probably expected, not the society, but me personally.
Oh, yeah.
I expected different kind of interaction.
But there is something that these two share, and that is the lack of courage, because a shy person lacks courage to, I don't know, approach others, you know, talk to people, and so on. And a coward is also lacking courage.
So Jedrek, while Olha is thinking, what do we call people who we constantly, you know, continuously ask to come on our show and they don't? Do we call them cowards or shy people?
They're cowards. They're total cowards.
Cowards. People, you're cowards. Gosh. You know.
People, you're not motivating those who are listening to us. Sorry.
No, of course they're shy. Of course they're shy.
You know, it's but the fact that we are asking about this difference is you know, it's because I don't think it's really easy to separate these two. And moreover, I think in our daily lives we make a lot of substitutions. You know, we call shy people cowards, and we call cowards shy people. And it could really help if we could get down to the essence of both shyness and cowardice, and to really separate these two. Because you're right, Olga, when you say that it's a label, because being a coward is something unwanted, right? Something that nobody desires. Whether at a personal level or you know, much larger, societal or national or international, right? Spatial. but because I think that there is, you know, there is something like cowardice, and it's true cowardice, not a label that someone is attaching, but true cowardice, and that is something nasty, or something, I don't know even if it's nasty. Maybe.
Okay, give an example.
Okay, I'm afraid to go and fight in the war. Am I a coward?
Oh, no. Let's not go down the. Oh, trust me, you don't want to go there. No.
I know it's touchy now, but it's also close to me, right? So, but then again, you can't. Can you call someone a coward? Someone who's afraid to go and fight for his life?
I don't know. Maybe 3 years ago I would have, but now it's so.
You see, and it's
different.
but then again, but let's use a different example. There's an accident that you caused, car accident, and maybe someone suffered, died there, and you escape from the place of the accident. Are you a coward?
Well, you're definitely not shy. I mean, it's
definitely
there's no doubt about that.
Driving you away.
That's right. We found the difference. Okay.
What is cowardice in its essence, you know, and where does it come from? It's interesting.
Do you think shy people can be brave? Well,
I think so. Yeah. You know, there is also I'm thinking about myself, actually. Like, generally, I would describe myself as a you know, like, socially awkward person, because in some unknown social circumstances I am really shy, and I would never, well, okay, not probably never, but I would rarely start a conversation with a stranger. I am really, I need some kind of, you know, like, prep time to make a phone call. I hate phone calls, really. I prefer texting. Every time when I meet some kind of a challenge which involves like social interaction, I you know, like, I have this anxiety, and I need to, you know, like, set some kind of, I don't know, some kind of plan for myself, or some kind of, I tend to overthink everything connected.
Would you call yourself a coward?
No, I would call myself shy, you know, like, in some circumstances. But the question was, can a shy person be brave? For me, it's quite easy to change jobs. For me, it's quite easy to quit. Yes, I would be like worried, like I would be, you know, like, shaking like a leaf before the job interviews, and then go into some new places. Yes, but I know that, like, basically the whole process, it's doable. I can deal with that. I can cope with that. It's fine. And when I shared that, you know, like, I was talking to one of my friends, and I said that, oh, you know, like, I've changed jobs. I quit that and I started working there, you know, like, and she was like, oh, wow, this is so brave. I would never, you know, like, I would never, like, this is so hard for me. I got used to the people, and all this process is so, you know, like, frightening, like, terrifying. Wow, you are so brave. And I was like, this is the example, like, which popped up in my head when you asked the question, can shy people be brave? Probably I am shy in some particular situations, but I'm quite brave in others, you know, like, in some other circumstances. So I think it's quite possible.
But mind you, that shyness, I guess, refers to human relations, because I don't think you could be shy towards, I don't know, a dark room, or, you know, or towards a situation like changing a job, because this is where shyness doesn't actually work. I mean, you know, it doesn't impact your decision, because, you know, this is a process, changing jobs. Of course, at one point you have to tell someone, I quit. And this is difficult. I think this, but for a shy person, maybe, right? But then again, if your self-interest is at stake, I don't know. But this is exactly a situation where we could talk about courage, right? You need courage to say no, to be assertive, or to quit a job. For sure. But I don't think, shyness, that's why a shy person could I don't say easily, I won't say easily, but could save a baby from a house on fire, right? Because shyness has nothing to do with that. It's not like I'm shy to speak to the baby or what.
Yeah, but that's a different type of courage. I think we talked about it. When you make a decision in a split of a second and you don't actually, it's not a rational
think
thing.
about it. Yeah,
but
it comes,
for
but
example,
still
quitting
it comes
your
from
job,
some.
it comes after, you do it after a lot of thinking, analyzing, and that's a different type of courage, I think. But doing the wrong thing, admitting it and taking responsibility, this is what I think, your example with a car accident, that's it. That's taking responsibility for something you've done.
Yeah, but
that's
it's
courage.
it's also happening fast, right?
Yeah.
And I think there are some deeper regions of our, be it character or soul, where these decisions come from, these sudden decisions, I run, or I stay and I take the responsibility. I wonder what this, I would just, I'm just curious about this cowardice, it's this concept, because it's really, really interesting. I mean, shyness equally, but I think the cowardice is especially because it's like Olga said, it's a label, and it's misused, misplaced very often. We would call ourselves cowards when we are actually not, or we would call others cowards when they are not. But when are we actually entitled to call someone coward?
The question is, are we entitled to call someone that?
That's a good question
have the
too,
right, generally speaking?
But because you think it's offensive, or?
Well, it is, like you said, nobody desires to be called a coward. Yeah, nobody.
It's the same with being called stupid, right? Nobody wants that, and I don't know if at the end of the day we have the right to call someone stupid.
But we do. And we do call people cowards, so it's nice to know, But I think it depends on your,
thank you so much.
on your values, what you found courageous personally, and starting from here, you can think of who you will call a coward. I know you hate relativistic. It depends thing, Jedrek, but yes.
No, I like that. I like it. I mean, but yeah, I'm thinking about.
Let me introduce a technical twist to this question, because we started with AI.
Sure.
So, Olha, to put you in the picture, as you understand, we are obsessed, with AI and what it's doing to teaching and education. And recently, we compared many schools. They launched this AI tutor, yeah. And how they sell this idea, they compare basically. And one of the I searched through the history, and I found what I sent you. The comparison of advantages, disadvantages of a human tutor and AI. And one of them is, so when you study with AI, I quote, "No more shame or worry speaking." Second, AI does not judge. And one more, this is my, with human tutor, it's awkward, takes time to break the ice. And with AI, there is pressure-free speaking environment. It's hands-free speaking, as if speaking to a friend. So these are advantages, and they expect people to fall for it. I mean, to buy this idea that it's really, and I'm sure many people will find it appealing. So are we turning into cowards? You know, we're afraid to speak to real, real people. We prefer robots, machines, because they don't judge. You know, it's so cozy and nice. Nobody will call you stupid, coward, whatever. Or is it because we're so shy today that we are, you know, we prefer?
To me, it's a problem of shyness that the tech is trying to overcome, not a problem of cowardice that we are, you know, deep inside we are cowards, and now, you know, we have this perfect environment that is safe, you know, and so, but I don't know. To me, it's like tech dealing with the problem of shyness, natural shyness, perhaps, you know, people who are afraid. Because imagine this, you know, you speak a foreign language and you sound awkward. It's kind of, you know, and you make some silly mistakes, you know, and you expose yourself to potentially being ridiculed.
Yeah, but it takes strength. It takes something, you know, it takes maybe some courage to overcome this.
Yes.
And this is what you must do.
Mm-hmm.
So is it really shyness here? I think people are becoming more, you know, cowardly, sorry. Because
Olga, your 5 cents. I see that you're thinking, but let's
she has
think
more than
out
5
loud.
cents. It's just so many.
Yeah. Okay.
$100.
$5 million. You know.
You know, like just at different stages of like Masha's monologue and then your dialogue, I had like so many different thoughts and so many different reactions. You know, it seems like AI is supposed to be dealing with this like traumatizing experience of being criticized by someone, or ridiculed or judged, you know, because I've met a lot of people who struggle with studying English now in their adulthood only because they had a terrible teacher in school when they were like 10 years old or something, and they still carry this experience with them, you know, like, so probably people who can relate to that experience would say that, yeah, definitely I would prefer to talk to a robot, because I don't know what kind of burden would I like put on my shoulders after next interaction with a teacher. I might not learn anything. I would just, you know, like be psychologically traumatized till the rest of my days. So for the rest of my days. So this is like the first thought that I had. And then I also thought that with the advance of technologies, we are becoming like shyer and shyer, you know, like because we've lose the skill of interaction with humans.
I think it's more than a skill, you know, building a relationship with a person. It's a hell of a task. Sorry, I'm an introvert, so I know.
But look, like making a phone call, it's not a relationship building. It's just like a task that you need to do, which requires some communication, like being polite, getting what you want, finishing the conversation, and feeling okay afterwards.
Well, it's a micro relationship, you know, because you never know what the other person might say or might ask you to do.
We are drifting into the question of what is communication and what is the relationship. Like, what's the difference? Yeah. Am I a coward because I want to avoid feeling bad about myself? Definitely not. This is natural, to avoid pain, to avoid fear, to avoid, I don't know, anything that could stress me out, right?
On the one hand, yes, but on the other, this culture that I see today, you know, almost anything you say will be taken as a judgment. But this is how people grow. You feel uncomfortable, you feel a little bit bad about yourself, just a little bit, not too much. This is what pushes you out of this comfort zone. This is what makes you grow. There's no other way around it.
But you never know if another person's judgment would help you grow or vice versa, you know, like, like
okay.
Why do you think that other person's judgment is more important than your own judgment of yourself?
Well, it's good if you have your own judgment of yourself, but sometimes it seems that people, you know, especially young generation, they're like told, that's what they hear from everywhere, that you are special, unique, you are super good. Okay, fine, you know, fine.
Yeah, Masha, there is this concept of snowflakes right now, right? That people who are very sensitive to other people's opinions, judgments especially, and one of the ways out is to basically separate yourself from the world, right? And this is how you deal with it's kind of a
switch to the
trap, I think.
virtual world, of course.
Yeah, exactly. Because, you know, at the end of this line, you are some kind of a brain in a jar who's operating an avatar in, you know, some kind of a dream world, you know, because you are safe from all possible harm and diseases, living forever and well, sort of kidding yourself, because in fact you're just a brain in a jar, right?
So we're not shy, we're not cowards, we're just snowflakes.
And there's also, you know, the link to I see the link to the cancel culture from here. You know, you don't like that, you cancel it, you know, and you don't face I don't know, your I would say opponent in a conversation, right? In a fair exchange of arguments, but basically, oh, okay, I cancel you, you know, you quit from my friends list or something, you know, I ban you from my Twitter, and I no longer hear what you're blabbing. It's interesting. But is it honestly a problem of cowardice? It looks like maybe. I wish there was a gauge of courage, I guess, but courage is not, you know, the problem is that both shyness and cowardice, like I said, they require courage, right? To overcome, well, both shyness and cowardice, right? It's a problem of courage in both cases, I think.
For a shy person, it takes courage to go out there.
It takes courage to go out and to talk to people. Yeah, make a phone call, you know. But then again, I believe there is something like cowardice, real cowardice, and it is undesired. And there are nasty behaviors when you know, when you have certain duty, but you quit, right? You have certain responsibility, but you quit. And I think this is cowardice, right? We have some basic responsibility, you know. Like there's this typical stereotypical situation when a boyfriend and a girlfriend are, you know, walking down the street, and somebody approaches them, you know, and maybe I don't know, starts picking up on the girl, you know, or something, you know, and this is the man's.
Oh, come on, you are treading thin ice here. You will be called a sexist.
Oh my God! Ban me from this show, you know. Before
yeah, I'm canceling you. You know,
you're canceling. No, but I mean,
don't
there? Aren't there any like duties that we carry as we mature? You know, because I understand that, you know, a 5-year-old boy cannot defend his mother, but, you know, a 20-year-old son could at least, you know, try.
But can a girl defend her boyfriend if another girl is hitting up on him? I don't know. It's just an absurd. I like taking things to extreme. I don't know what's right anymore, you know.
But, you know, and this is where I see, okay, if there is something like natural fear, fear is something that's older than mankind, right? And overcoming this fear, this very basic emotion, I think is also kind of taking us out from the courage, sorry, from cowardice, because I think that if you look at animals, courage, by the way, is something that's out of this world, right? Animals don't have it. They are cowards. Even a tiger or a lion, they are cowards. Of course, they may act like, whoa, they are attacking and so on, but when they are cornered, they attack like this. But they are really they are cowards. They will run away sooner than attack. Of course, if they are hungry and so on, there is some biological need that they need to satisfy and so on. Fine, but deep in their hearts, lions and eagles, no matter their symbolic meaning, are cowards, right? They run away. This is their first reaction: run away.
What about dogs who die defending their owners?
That's interesting, with dogs. That's interesting, but they are kind of blind, they are unaware, or they have been trained like this, or I don't think this is really
I don't think they have a fear of death. Although
it is not the courage of Jesus, who knew that they are going to execute him, but he said, guys, do it, do it, go on, and that's the kind of courage that pushed mankind forward. And I don't mean like Jesus is one example, but there are many others, Braveheart included.
Oh yeah, I vote for Braveheart.
Yeah,
Thank
but
you.
It's pretty much the story of Jesus. It's just recreated a few hundred years later.
All stories are recreated.
Well, sorry to interrupt your,
Please do.
Our special guest.
Are like...
Yeah, our special guest. Why are you there interrupting us here? Right.
I was just thinking, is running away such a bad thing if you are cornered? If you're, if you know that you are not gonna win this fight, why should I stay?
Yeah, it's not.
My son, who is 13, he says the best fight is the fight which never happened. It's not his words, but he keeps repeating it.
It's kind of wise, like not to.
Yeah, but Olga, I'd say there is at some point the limit of running away. Because of course
we know
there are
we know there is a limit.
Yeah, but there is a limit of running away. It's not like, of course, there is a group of 20 marching right at me, and of course I'm running away, because I have no chance. But there's a limit where you simply say, stop, I can't be hiding or running away anymore. Now it's time to, I know these are sensitive. Yeah, I mean, well, there is something like heroic death, and in our culture, there is this kind of aura of
idolized. Yes,
idolized. It's idolized. Yes, it's idolized.
So is it? Sorry.
Go ahead.
Go on. Oh, you're the special guest. Don't forget that.
Is it better to survive and be labeled as a coward, or to die heroically? Like, I don't know.
Volumes have been written about it, I think, in the history of literature. I think there are books upon books about that.
Yeah, but if we give it like a fresh, if we look at it from a different perspective, from the perspective of doubting, casting a doubt on anything, so like, I don't know, is it worth dying?
Yeah, but what kind of life will you have? Because it's universally frowned upon, stigmatized even. So
unless you recreate yourself in a different country with a different identity,
yeah, but this is it's another person.
It's what many it's what many war criminals do, right? They reappear somewhere far away and on the other end of the world, and somehow
how do we measure this limit of running away? Like, how do I understand that? Yes, till this point I'm still okay, but if I go beyond,
so it's very relative. Yeah, it's very personal how much you can take. Some people can't take any running. Some can take.
I think this is cultural. This is cultural, I think.
Is
I
it?
think our
Are you thinking about
acceptance of
French?
no, no, I'm just, you know, it's just a brief thought, but I think that the amount of valor, you know, in society is changing, you know. And I think that what, you know, in the past we had duels, you know, you called me stupid, it's a duel, you know, and I challenge you and we fight for life, you know, or you called my mother, you know, something, a name, you know, we fight, and you know, let the better win, and the loser die, right? Life and death. It was like what, 200 years ago here in France.
Was it bravery? Was it courage?
Well, from our point of view, it was stupid, right? Because today you've got other things, you know, we've got courts, we've got, you know, other institutions that could perhaps mediate. But back then, imagine the amount of valor generally, you know, that, okay, you called me this or that, you know, I challenge you to a fight, you know, either, you know, with sabers or whatever weapon of your choice, you know. Amazing. And today it's unthinkable, you know, unthinkable. And so and at the same time you accept today being called, I know, stupid, your mother, you know, this or that, you know, because so I think that what is acceptable generally is changing, right?
What is considered honorable or dishonorable?
Yeah, yeah, too, but yeah, exactly, you know, because we have I think we are kind of more cowardly today.
We're
but I don't want
becoming
to say
softer.
again,
We don't have duels anymore.
Yeah, we don't have duels anymore.
Oh, I wish we had.
But you know, but a coward would actually, you know, there was the story of Jesse James, you know, who was cheating during duels. You know, he would, you know, normally you turn around after what, 20 steps, right, and you shoot. But Jesse turned around after, you know, 10 steps or 5, you know, and he was killing his easy
Prey.
Yeah, exactly.
Easy target, yeah.
Easy target, yeah, because, you know, and he was cheating. He was like a real coward, right? Who rose to fame or infamy, but he's remembered now. But just because he was a cheater, a coward, because he was afraid to walk, you know, the required whatever number of steps.
But then if he hadn't been afraid, we would not know about him now, you know.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Yeah, but he serves as a lesson, you know, now that, you know, look, this is a coward, you know. He was a coward. He was afraid to face someone in a fair fight, just, you know, trying to outmaneuver, you know, and eliminate. And of course he survived. So if you think about survival, cowards may sometimes have higher rate of survival than heroes, you know.
They definitely do have higher rate. So
like I was thinking about this like changing concept of what is honorable, what is cowardice, and what is not. I was thinking that maybe 100 years from now, like people would be really taking, you know, like having English lessons with, or any other lessons with AI tutors, and people having real human tutors would be considered as, wow, that's so brave of you, you know, like
wow, you decided,
I would never,
you know,
I would never.
Yeah, this should be our marketing strategy, you know. Be brave, you know, take a class with a human being.
Exactly. Don't be a pussy.
We judge, you know.
Step out of your comfort zone. Just interact with a human.
It's all shame and worry when you speak. It's awkward.
Yeah.
Fight your fear.
Yeah, if only we could control this, you know, this again, you know, this level of acceptance, you know, what is, you know, what is courage, what's not, and so on. What is cowardly act, what's not.
So I dare people who listen to us to, to duel us for calling them cowards. Maybe this will generate some voicemails and comments. I don't know what will.
Yeah, by the way, Masha, maybe the low number of comments is due to our malfunctioning website. How about that?
How long has it been malfunctioning?
It has been malfunctioning since September, I guess.
And the podcast has been running since what? No voice. Sorry, it's not a good reason.
All right, but sorry for the website, by the way, to everybody who's waiting for it to be back on. Not like
Looking
online.
Forward
it is
to
online,
it.
but
Yeah.
back to be healthy again. But I'm struggling with some, servers and moving from one to another. So be patient for at least a couple of days more. Great.
Jendrik, why
Masha,
don't you wrap up?
Am I
Say
okay?
something smart.
I mean, Olga,
Did
I want
we
to say big
arrive
thank
at
you.
any good conclusion?
There are too many threads, that we picked up. I think, but the conversation was absolutely fascinating. And Olga, thanks a lot for joining us here and for sharing your point of view, even if at the end of the day we don't have any clear conclusion, like, okay, this is shyness, this is cowardice, shy people are like that, cowardly people are like this. And Masha, thanks a lot for adding this AI perspective to it. What is AI solving? Is it solving the problem of shyness, or
For once,
the
I
problem
was
of
prepared.
cowardice? For once. Yeah. But
Usually it's just okay. Well, do you think that, because we hope that people who come here, they can serve as inspiration for others, first of all, because most of our guests are very shy. Yes, Jendrik? Well, not
yes.
most. I mean, Jacek
I
was
mean,
not.
it's natural. Come on, you have to speak a language that's not your first, and and you do it live, and it's being recorded, and others are listening, judging, and so come on, it takes a lot of courage to labeling exactly.
Well, now if you remember the time when you were an English learner, because you learned English, some time ago. So do you think this experience, do you see any value in this experience for a person who's learning a language?
You mean taking part in such discussion? Oh, absolutely. Undoubtedly, yes, because this is what communication in the language is. Basically, it's just talking, trying to think out loud. This is the most beneficial thing that you can do if you are a language learner. And I'm extremely happy that you have invited me over, and I'm extremely glad that I've agreed to that. That was nice. That was a pleasure. Very exciting conversation, very thought-provoking topics, really cool for building your confidence as an English speaker. So yeah, thank you so
people
much.
Listen to this. It's
Listen
valuable.
and take notes. Yeah.
And for whatever reason, if it's just could be a free class, for you. So come to, contact us, and you'll be on the show in no time.
Exactly. Studiomentals.com is our website. And ladies and gentlemen, this was another episode of the Thinking Out Loud podcast. Stay tuned for the next one.
Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.